What's going on, Lions fans? Welcome back to the Den with Steve. Hey, it is a Friday night. First time putting a game day episode out on a night shift. All right. This is a first, and we're going to do two firsts tonight. Okay. Stick around to the end of this episode. I am telling you right now, there is a monster giveaway that I'm giving away at the end of this episode. I'll tell you what it is. I'll show you what it is. I'll tell you all about it, but you got to stick around to the end. Early tip, you guys know the deal. If you follow my giveaways or what I require of you or what I ask of you is to just click a button, subscribe to the channel. Got to be following me on Twitter at Perks8 on Twitter. Sunday's game is absolutely pivotal. I can't stress to you guys enough how important it is. Minnesota Vikings, it's not a must win. I don't like using the term must win, but this is a game to set the tone. This is the biggest game to date so far this season for two reasons. One, it's the first game without Aidan Hutchinson. Okay. The team's probably been on an emotional roller coaster as much as they're not talking about it, how it affects them. And I know that they're professionals and it's next man up mentality. I've heard a lot of stuff all week. We've been diving into some trade scenarios. It's what everyone wants to hear, but these are my favorite episodes to talk about. These and post-game shows where we're talking about wins. That's one way that this is the biggest game. Second, can't let Minnesota get too far ahead of us in the NFC North standings. Okay. It's just one game right now. We could tie it up on Sunday. That's what I'm hoping to do. That's what I think we're going to do. But we have to win this game. We don't want to get too far back and start playing catch up. Let's get in a position where we're controlling our own fate and we're not having to worry about it. You know, as much as I had a blast at those home playoff games last year, man, I wanted one more. I wanted one more home playoff game. I think that would have been the difference in San Francisco. Okay. We talk about how the Detroit Lions have a home field advantage, and I've seen some other people talking about it. I've seen some stuff from ESPN talking about it. I need to get all roads through Detroit. You want to get to the Super Bowl, you got to come through Detroit. Plain and simple, period. No other reason to come here. Let's take a look at some of the key injuries for this game for both sides. Let me bring in this. What sticks out to me here is honestly kind of TJ Hawkinson for the Minnesota Vikings possibly coming back, as well as Aaron Jones being questionable. I've seen some reports he's going to play. He's not going to play. I don't know. Game time decision, I would predict. Also, Harrison Phillips, he's one of their nice defensive tackles. I've luckily gotten to watch some of the Vikings games quite a bit with the way that the schedule's fallen, with Detroit having primetime games and getting to catch some Vikings games to see how they're looking. So those are some big injuries for them. For us, it's Zeitler and Carlton Davis. I think that we're going to need both of those guys. If Zeitler, whatever's going on, is what was his injury? Zeitler is just a groin. I don't know. That kind of popped up, and Carlton Davis a quad. If for some reason Zeitler can't go, a couple weeks ago when Coyote Awosika got in the game, I thought he played very well. So I'm not going to stress about that too much. If the coaches decide that Zeitler has to sit a game and it's for the best, then I'm all for it. I have nothing but faith in Awosika. I think it was the Seahawks game. He had to play it was for Frank when Graham had to slide over for center and play center. I thought Coyote played very well. A guy we didn't have to talk about. I thought he was an unsung hero for that game, honestly. So that's just some injuries. Now, I just can't stress how big of a game this is. Okay, when I'm diving in and I'm looking at stuff, and hopefully you guys feel the same, like it gets me excited. This is game of the week. There is no other game on this schedule. It doesn't matter what team you're rooting for. If you're a Vikings fan, a Lions fan, or a Indianapolis Colts fan, this is the best game of the week, I think. Let's bring in some team stats and check that out, see how we match up. I think we're looking at two teams who are top 10 offenses, top 10 defenses. What I look at stats wise is points per game and points per game given up. So Detroit has the number 1 offense. Minnesota has the number 5, 30 points per game and 27.8. And then defensively, top 10. Detroit 18.2 points per game, Minnesota 15.3. Like I said the other day, I did an episode on this, guys. It's going to be an absolute chess match of the coordinators. Ben Johnson versus Brian Flores is the one I'm looking forward to the most. I did an episode about how Minnesota's defense is kind of built. I gave them some credit. I think they have a very, very good defense. I'll give my predictions and I'll talk about that and what I think. But I'll tag that episode at the end of this one if you guys want to check that out. But Minnesota's defense is all about what they like to do on third down is create confusion with the it's being called like a stand up at the line defensive formation where they don't have a box on third down. They walk most of their defenders. They'll keep their safeties back in their corners outside. But all the linebackers, they bring them right up to the line of scrimmage and they make your offensive line and your quarterback guess who's coming. Okay. And like I said in this episode, this past episode, I'll give you guys a little bit of information. They're these players that walk up to the line, they have responsibility. So if Jared Goff and Frank Ragnow mainly, if they can control how the protection's going and identify who must drop in coverage and where the weakness is. And again, in the other episode, I make this sound so easy. It's not. You're up against the time. You're up against the crowd. You're up against some people moving around. It's tough to figure out. It's not easy. That's why Minnesota does it so well. But I think the third down, if you look at the stats again, our third down efficiency on offense is top 10. There's this top 15. Being able to sustain drives, this is going to be the key on third downs. The way they play on third is very, very unique. It's very, very different, and it's hard to game plan against because you just don't know. I really want you guys to check out that episode. I broke it down with some film and talked about it a lot more, but I think third down is going to be absolutely pivotal in this game. The importance of this game without Aidan Hutchinson, one of my keys, I have 3 keys to this game. Okay, 3. This is in no order, but this is our first look at how this defense is going to look without Hutch. Okay. Again, I'm guilty. I've been talking about trades all week. It's the hot topic. It's the hot conversation. We're getting a look. This is the first time. No Aidan Hutchinson. Is our defense going to be able to get pressures in other ways? Is that going to require us to blitz more? Is it going to require us to stunt more? I'm curious to see how Aaron Glenn gets creative and to create pressures. I personally, and this is just this isn't even a hot take. I'm sure most fans would agree. What I love on defense is the ability to rush forward and get pressure. That's what we have with Aidan Hutchinson. We can get pressures in other ways. We talk about blitzing, sending extra people. That creates a hole on the defense. Okay. That creates an opening for an offensive player to get open. I like to avoid that, but we'll see how it's looking. It might be unavoidable. We might have to blitz. Okay. Brian Branch, I thought, had some good blitzes on Sunday's game last week against the Cowboys. We'll see if Levi Onwuzurike can get some pressures. Wingo, he's a matchup nightmare. He's getting his feet wet. He's learned in the NFL. Ali McNeil's a problem. DJ Reader's a problem. We got some guys, okay? You just don't have that big hog on the other side with Aidan Hutchinson. So it's going to be interesting to see how Aaron Glenn dials it up, how the defense is able to get pressure. Because my second key to the game is win the turnover battle. Plain and simple. Like, don't turn the ball over, force some turnovers. Brian Branch had 3 turnovers last week. 2 interceptions and forced a fumble that Terrion Arnold recovered. Secondly, run the football. Okay. And I know I'm going to bring up the stats one more time because I think this is very important. Minnesota's rush defense is number 2 in the league. Detroit is number 3 against the run. Rushing offense, Detroit's number 4. And it's going to be a battle of wills. Who's going to end up winning that battle? Detroit wants to run the ball. Minnesota wants to stop the run. It's just going to be just 2 juggernauts lining up and pounding heads, guys. Who's going to give? At the end of the day, I think our offensive line is something that Minnesota hasn't seen before. Okay. We're not talking about receivers or skill position guys. We're talking about an elite offensive line that's number 1 in the NFL that you can do a lot of things with, not just running the ball, passing the ball. Very efficient. Goff has been playing really, really good ball the last couple of weeks. I want to see that continue. I need to see, like I said, I need to see some pressure on Sam Darnold. Okay. If we can get him back to his New York Jets days where he was talking about seeing ghosts on the field, Sam Darnold's just looked very comfortable to me when he's in the pocket. Minnesota's offensive line is pretty good too. I know they got that big tackle. Darisaw, one of the best. Bradbury, I think, is one of their guys that's up there. Like, they got an offensive line that's good. All right. I'm not going to say that they're not. So with us being banged up on the D-line, if we can force Sam Darnold into those old Jets days where he goes to the sideline and he's talking to his OC on the phone or on the sidelines and he's talking about how he's seeing ghosts out there, if we can expose that, bring that Sam Darnold back, bring him back to reality, I said the same thing, and I'm not trying to talk shit, Vikings fans. I know you guys like to tune in and watch sometimes. It seems like whenever I do my game day shows, the opposing team has a lot of fans that come in here and they like to tell me how stupid I am, but I'm really just trying to keep it respectful. I said the same thing about the Vikings last year when they had Josh Dobbs. Eventually, the real Josh Dobbs showed up. I expect the same from Sam Darnold, okay? And he's playing good ball for the Vikes right now, okay? Not going to say he's not. I don't know about MVP type numbers that I've seen, but we just got to get back to reality, okay? It's still Sam Darnold. They have a great team. Justin Jefferson. That's why I think Carlton Davis is a huge piece. Brian Branch with the safety over top on Justin Jefferson, I think is going to be pivotal. It's got to happen. Until I can see it, we have Carlton Davis is a lockdown corner, like he's saying we're talking about. Justin Jefferson's just in another atmosphere, just another planet, okay? He's the best receiver in the NFL. I'll take him over Tyreek Hill, whoever else you guys, Jamar Chase. I'll take Justin Jefferson if I were starting a team and needed a wide receiver. Jettas is the real deal. We've seen it. We see him twice a year. He's torched us. But at the end of the day, you can put up all those pretty stats as long as you want. You can have 200 passing yards, 200 receiving yards. I don't care who wins the score. That's what matters to me. So my prediction for this game, guys, with all this talk, Detroit having a good defense, even without Aidan Hutchinson, Brian Flores probably going to be coaching somewhere next year as well as Ben Johnson. Two great defenses. Aaron Glenn, shout out to you as well. You got us playing some good football right now. And I think that this is going to be an ugly, low-scoring battle, okay? I think that the Lions pull this one out. I will never pick – this year I just can't pick the Lions to lose. I'm sorry. We just have a deep team. 20-16 Lions. Offensive player of the game. Let's go amon-ra St. Brown. I think this game's going to require Jared Goff to get the ball out of his hands fast. Who better to look for than his number one receiver in St. Brown? I think he'll have 9 catches, 118 yards, and 1 touchdown. Defensive player of the game, I think Lee McNeil. I think he's going to have 1.5 sacks, a couple tackles, fresh off that contract extension. Love the deal. I think he's motivated. I think he's set mentally now. I think he knows, hey, I'm in Detroit for a long time. If someone has to step up on this D-line, it's got to be the guy who just gets paid, okay? I think it's Lee McNeil. I think he's going to have a hell of a game, okay? 20-16 Lions. Those are my players of the game. I want you guys to leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Drop your predictions. Drop your player of the game. Drop all that. Now, down to business. Let's get some giveaways, okay? I absolutely love giving back to the people who support this channel. It means a lot to me to give you guys an opportunity to win some stuff. So hit the subscribe button, okay? I don't say it a lot. I don't ask for subscribers. I'm focused on good quality content. But to win some stuff, I got to have you guys do a little something for me, all right? My player of the game. I'm giving away, fell off the hanger there. Amon-ra St. Brown, home jersey. Brand new, still got the tags on it. We still got the tags on. Hasn't even been worn. It's just sitting in my closet, guys. I'm giving this away. Hit that subscribe button. Must be following on Twitter as well. Not the same game. Not the same game, but I do have some other stuff to give away. I'm just going to show you guys. I got 2 of these Brad Holmes bobbleheads. I got a really cool Detroit Lions coin. I don't have that. It's old glory. I don't want to be digging through a bag, but I have a Detroit Lions coin. It's pretty cool. Guys, I'm trying to give back to you guys. Help me out. Leave some comments. Stick around. I will be back later with another show. Thanks for watching. Drop those predictions.